Hi, Shalom. This week's Parashat Re'eh. As we're getting near on Bnei Israel going into Eretz Israel, we come and we learn about the differences between what was up until now and the new changes. And one of them, which is mentioned in this week's Parashat, is the eating meats. If up until now, as we saw, only meats, which was prepared, which was brought in Ol Moed in the Mishkan, only that is the meat that's allowed to be eaten. Other meat was prohibited. Now, upon Kirchiv Hashem Volcha, as we expand a territory and come to Eretz Israel, meat will then be permitted to consume, to eat. Because something happened, something changed. The idea of eating meat, without getting into veganism or whatever it is that, there's something happens, there's an animal that dies, and unless there's something positive behind it, unless it's done within in a spiritual context, it should be avoided. And that's what happened up until now. But something changes when you come to Eretz Israel. When there's Kedusha, just being in the land of Eretz Israel, that in itself offers so much holiness and so much Kedusha. So anywhere in Eretz Israel, eating meat, that's already, regardless of the context, that in itself already elevates the eating, and that in itself gives that element of Kedusha. And there's something very nice and very true to it. However, there perhaps is something a bit dangerous. You see in this week's parasha 15 times this idea, these words of Hamakom Asher Yivchar Hashem, the place in which Hashem will choose, is mentioned so many times. What's happening there? What is so important about this Makom Asher Yivchar Hashem? You see, the building in Eretz Yisrael is that Hashem in a way comes to us. I'm sitting at home and I want to have a nice barbecue, and somehow I'm eating meat because I love meat. And somehow Hashem, in a way, that spirituality comes to me. And l'chora, one would think almost everything I do, whatever it is I want to do, it has, even though it's perhaps Kashmi, it has the element of spirituality to it. And that's where we need that reminder. Yes, true, in a way, Hashem, the spirituality, comes to your home as well. But at the same time, you should not forget that you better make sure that at least 3 times a year, but obviously much more, you need to make sure that there's actually a place, there's a Makom Asher Yivchar Hashem. We'll mention that 15 times throughout the parasha to remind you that at the end of the day, with all that Kedusha, there needs to be that one place, Hamakom Asher Yivchar Hashem. And unfortunately, there's difficult times going on in Israel. I think the necessity of a Makom Asher Yivchar Hashem is much greater. We need a place, and Mizrachi Hashem Bekarov, when Mashiach comes, a place that will be able to unify, as the Rambam explains in Mor Nevuchim, to unify us and connect us. And that as well is something we should pray for. This Makom Asher Yivchar Hashem will find that place where we could all come together and eat, regardless of where we are, in full Kedusha. Shabbat Shalom.